a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. Kimmy Kim and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. Kimmy Kim and Elation Radio. And here's your host, Kimmy Kim.
My good friends Shirley Murdoch and Fred Hammond. That's right, quick show. And we want to sing this song just to encourage your husband time. Fred, Dr. Scott, let's go. Here we go. And the song goes. God of the good time, keeper of the bad time, extender of mercy, and always on time. God will take care, He's always there. I know.
What's going on, my good people? Charles McCutchen here. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Y'all don't even understand what's about to go down, what's to go down. I want to welcome everybody to Charles's Corner. I'm Charles McCutchen, your favorite entrepreneur, best-selling author, Mr. Real Estate. Real estate is what I do. Real estate, to me, is like the core of everything that I do, from the nonprofit to the government contracts to working in the cannabis field to the assisted living to everything that I'm working on. It's like I would like it to center around real estate. So for those that don't know me, I've been here for years. I wrote me a manual. I got a few books out there as well, best-selling author. And my goal is to continue to help people, on my journey. God has given me some gifts, and my goal is to use up every last bit of it. I want to go empty when I go. When it's time for me to go, I want to be empty because I poured into so many people and helped out where I could, wherever I can. And I get that from a lot of people from across the country. And I'm so glad that I can even help out. So, as I do on this thing, I like to provide information that can help you out as well. When I learn different things, I like to bring it up. And my goal for this whole platform is actually financial freedom. So, it's not really real estate, government contracts, or nonprofits or anything, even credit and business credit. It's financial freedom. So, I put it into this, it's like I'm making a cake. I put this cake together and I put all these ingredients in it, and hopefully it's going to come out the way it should come out. So I've been doing this for some time now. Me and Miss Kimmy been going back and forth like a tennis match on this thing with Elation Radio, stemming from Elation magazine. But we definitely have a long road ahead of us with a lot of good people that's helping us on this journey. This is definitely a journey. So I'm going to give y'all a piece of what I'm working on right now. This is amazing, and this is going to cover the United States of America. This is, anybody can do this. So what I'm working on right now, obviously it deals with real estate in such a big level. And I'm going to give y'all a little backstory before I go into what I'm about to go into. So the backstory of what I'm working on is a $200 million development. It's going to be a mixed-use development that's in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm doing a raise right now, and what that means is I'm looking for the funding from different entities, from hedge funds, pension funds, private money, developers, and things of that nature. So the land I'm developing on, or we're developing on, was owned by slaves in the late 1880s. My goal is to get the descendants who are still living, some of them still living, they're in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, looking to get them on TV, radio, so they can tell their story. So their story, and I'm going to sum it up in a nutshell, is, and it's almost like Tulsa, Oklahoma without the bombing. Just as you know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and even before there was other quote-unquote Tulsa, Oklahomas, I'm not going to take it down that road, but just to let y'all know that I know. So in that area, it was a thriving area. They had farms out there. They were growing corn and okra, and everybody sharing in the community. And then the government came in and tried to take them out. And then the city came in and wanted to take them out. And everybody kept lowballing them and changed the area around from residential to industrial. Now, let me explain to y'all what that means. If you have a home, let's say over time, we all need to repair our homes and do something. The home needs repairing, maybe the roof or the AC, something needs repairing. So some things that need repaired, what happens is you have to go to the city, right? And you have to get a permit, right? And so if the area is changed from residential to industrial, the city won't give you a permit because they don't want nobody living in an industrial area. So that was one thing that the city did to really flush people out of living in that area. So basically, they wanted your house to fall down, or they wanted you to move, and a lot of people moved from that area. That's a high visibility area, a high area to where there's going to be a lot of traffic, and it's right by the water, it's right by the airport. So anytime you can get a city or anything right by the airport, that's like it's profitable. It's everybody wants to be there. So forward now, the folks that we're working with, my goal is to make them multi-millionaires. You better believe it. You heard it here. You heard it here. You better believe it. So I'm working to get them their money, and I'm working to get them on TV. I'm working to get them a book. I want them to get the documentary out there. I want it going to Netflix and any other thing that's going to pick it up. I'm going to Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to, I know LeBron James has something coming out this year, supposedly, on Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going down to Atlanta to talk to them about their, it doesn't matter, but it has to happen. Their story must be told. There's still a lot of people in the area that's living that have some phenomenal stories. I've listened to the stories firsthand, so their stories must be told, and I'm doing everything in my power to make it happen. And I'm linking up with people across the country that want to play a role in this because it just has to go down. Another piece of the story is this. The people I'm working with, there's two other people. We have a company, a development company. Before I got to this project last year around this time. And y'all know last year around this time, COVID happened. And so that kind of delayed a little bit of what I'm doing right now. And the only reason I got to this project is because the people that were here before me, the two people, they've been on this project for over 7 years trying to get this thing to get going. And they couldn't get the funding. And so I got a phone call from somebody I know and was like, hey, Charles, can you talk to these guys? They're looking for some funding. Can you help them out? I met up with them, and I looked at the project, and I saw the story behind the land. I was like, oh, my goodness, I have to do this. Like, I have to really do this. And so here I am. I have different funding people, entities, organizations that want to be a part of this. And I get calls like, hey, Charles, I got $200 million for you. We want 50% equity. And I say, thank you for at least coming to talk to me, but, I can't do 50% equity. I got people, hey, Charles, let's close this out. We'll give you $200 million and let me tell y'all where I'm coming from, family. I start from a project. I'm from a small city called Detroit, Michigan. And being from the projects, you see things a little differently. And now, I look back to where I came from and like what I'm doing now, and it's only because I chose to get up and move. And I will not let anything or any person stop me. And I say that on this a lot when I'm speaking to y'all. I won't let any person stop me because this is way bigger than me. And I may give y'all like the bigger picture of what's really going to happen with all of this. And I'm really looking out for we're going to be providing like over 2,000 jobs just for this particular development. So we're building hotels, apartment complexes, quads, triplexes, duplexes, single family, the commercial space. We have the cannabis farms down in North Carolina. We have hundreds and hundreds of acres down there, and we're growing hemp and CBD. So with the hemp, what we're doing is we're going to actually build the apartment complexes. We're building a veteran-assisted living facility, which is 350 to like 400 beds. We're building all that with hemp. So for those out there that don't know, hemp, there's 50,000 uses for hemp. Hemp can make napkins. Hemp can make the clothes on your back, the shoes on your feet. Hemp can make the purses that y'all carry, ladies. Hemp can make the bed sheets. Hemp can make the curtains. Hemp can make the pillowcases. Hemp can make jackets. Hemp can make everything. Hemp can make a lot of stuff. And there's this thing called hempcrete. We all know concrete that we pour and, they build structures with, but there's a thing called hempcrete that's stronger than concrete. And we're going to be using hempcrete to build the apartment complexes, hotels. So we want to build literally 100% out of hemp. Yeah. So with the veteran-assisted living facility owned by a veteran, myself, utilizing the nonprofit, we're going to be doing that. The other things I'm doing, and I'm telling y'all this because I want to partner with somebody who has some stake in everything that I'm talking about. So I put it out there for the masses to see who I can connect with along this journey, because I promise you I ain't doing all this by myself. That's not what I do, family. I put out information and I get with good people and then we move. It's all about making moves. So I'm looking in the virtual reality space. We're going to use virtual reality to help the elderly out. We're going to use virtual reality to help the veterans out. We're doing the mental health as well. I got the mental health professionals. I just met another one today. And mental health, we're going to look at the veterans and helping them on their journey, even the elderly. So we have a lot going on. So we're actually going to be using solar. So we want to get off the grid and not use their electricity. We want to do our own electricity. We're going to have a store, have a Black-owned store. We're looking at a black-owned grocery store. So it's a lot going on with what I'm working on, and my goal is to connect with all these like-minded people and get all the professionals out there from assisted living to mental health, virtual reality, blah, 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 put everybody in a mixing bowl, put it together, and we come out with this product to where we can move forward. And then we take it from city to city. We take it from city to city. I got some stuff in St. Louis as well. And I know in St. Louis, y'all have a thing called, and this is a great segue, and I'm talking to some specific people here, a great segue, y'all have what we call opportunity zones. And that's what I want to see y'all about tonight, opportunity zones. And I'm going to just kind of go down and give y'all some information. What are opportunity zones? Opportunity zones are nothing more than, well, I'm going to be politically correct, but y'all going to know where I'm coming from. Opportunity zones are nothing more than economically distressed communities. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. And they're designated by the states and territories, and they're certified by the U.S. Treasury Department. And what they're doing is allowing certain type of investments that are eligible for preferential tax treatment. I'm going to break this down for y'all in a second. I'm gonna break it down so you understand what I'm talking about. So this is my politically correct way first. So the tax incentive is designed to spur economic development and job creation in those communities. And they provide tax benefits to investors. It came about June of 2018, and it's still in its infancy stages right now, right? So it's supposed to go on until like 2028. And all that means is this. Y'all are from the project, so you know those areas that we lived in back in the day, and some people live in them now that may be, downtrodden areas and everything like that, maybe the project, maybe the ghetto, whatever we want to call it. Those same type areas have ACT funding, but what they do is they got to move all those people out first. I don't know where they're going, and we call that. So we move all those people out, and then we build that area up to a point that nobody that lived over there can even move back because it costs too much. But they will take about 3 people, though. They're going to get 3 people on Section 8 to go back over there. So, we helped out, and they're going to put them on TV, too. They're definitely going to put them on TV. Yep, Miss Barbara is back over there, and she's on Section 8. They're going to get like 3 people and then move them in. So my goal is to show people how we can get into these opportunity zones and get the funding to actually rebuild our communities and even do affordable housing and put people into job creation and put people to work and actually help people out to live in those type areas that's been rebuilt. We can't keep giving up the same area. So one of the things I'm working on right now is an opportunity zone fund. So it's nothing more than an investment vehicle, and I'm creating the company, and the fund must hold at least 90% of the assets in a qualifying opportunity zone. So there's so many zones in a lot of different states across America that really need, we can say the downtrodden areas or the ghettos or the we already know what we're talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'll be creating that and putting it to work. And I'm doing that because there's a lot of funding in those zones that can be received to the tune of billions. I know one fund has like, oh my goodness, like $3 billion. There's so much money looking to go somewhere, but we haven't put together the fund to ask for the money in a sense so we can build up certain areas. And when you're doing this, I'm going to just tell you, there is a political thing involved because if you're doing it in the city of St. Louis, you got to go to the city to talk to them because there's a little bit of politics involved. Y'all better believe it. But not to say it can't be done. So not to say it can't be done, but, there's politics involved. So there was a policy that came out, and it was an opportunity zone policy, and I'm trying to be politically correct. I'm going to take that off the table right quick. So what's really happening is this. You get these funds with all this money. They dump it into this fund, into the area, and let's say to the tune of $300, $400 million into this particular area. They keep their money, investors keep their money in that fund for 10 years, and what they're doing is eliminating capital gains taxes. So let's say you as an investor, you put up $3 million or $5 million of your dollars into this fund, and after that, let's say you made $2 million, right? So normally capital gains taxes, I think is, I'm not going to give you the number. I forgot the doggone number. Maybe 23.8% or something like that. Capital gains taxes are out there. They're going to tax your $2 million of like you put in $5 million, you made $2 million off the $5 million. They're going to tax that $2 million capital gains taxes. So if you keep it in there for the 10 years, what they're going to say is, okay, you have been forgiven. You don't pay any taxes on your $2 million. So now you come out with $7 million. It's crazy how this is done. And, you know, a lot of people who make money are making more money without being taxed. And is it a good thing that they can build up an area that's, you know, going down in the tubes? Yes. And so, I mean, I don't know. You know, some people feel some type of way that people are not being taxed, but, you know, it is what it is. But we can use it and put it into those communities, but we have to build our own opportunity zone funds to help out in that in that light. So that's the best I can give you. There's so much information out there, but it's still so new to people that a lot of us haven't done it, you know. So I've been getting trained on it. I'm learning on it. I've given presentations on it. I'm not the expert yet. I'm working with one of the experts to help me to build mine out, because there's trillions of dollars that's looking for a home. And so I'm going to build mine out, and I'm going to show other people how to build theirs out in different places across the United States, so we can have these funds so we can rebuild where we live. We need to rebuild it where we live. So a lot of investors are out there. A lot of business owners that's going to be in that area can get funding. Just because when you're in an opportunity zone area, your business can actually get more funding for your business. It's crazy how this all works. So it's just amazing what we don't know, you know. And I'm going down this road, learning all this stuff, and I'm showing people what I know as I go, and it's just amazing. You can literally ask for what they call expansion money to expand your businesses in that area. You know, that's crazy. But you have to be in that area. They have different qualifications and rules and regulations that you got to follow. And like the fund has to report every 6 months to the IRS to make sure you're following all the rules and regulations that's set out there. You can even do it as a nonprofit, but I got told today, literally, I wouldn't do it as a nonprofit. And he said, you know, the nonprofit, you can make the money as a person and then donate some of the money to the nonprofit, because you still have to make money, you know. So what happens is there's different ways to do it: LLC, C Corp, C Corporation. And I'm not giving y'all any type of legal advice. You know, please, I have attorneys. I have SEC, Securities Exchange Commission attorneys. I have CPAs. So that's not what I do. I stick to what I do best as far as real estate, and I let the people that do this kind of stuff, forming these S Corps and C Corps and LLCs, I let them do what they do. That's not what I do. But you can defer taxes, and I'm just looking at different ways to get to the money to help the community build. That's what I do. So there's all types of money out there, from new market tax credit money to grant money to money in hemp as well. I'm going down that road. And the guy told me today, just got on the phone with him, he said, Charles, if we go down this road and you get the money to grow the hemp, to be able to use the hemp to build developments out He said, and let me give y'all this one. I just spoke to these scientists probably 3 days ago, and they're doing cannabis, and they're looking at how hemp can help. And please don't take this for gospel. Do your own due diligence, because there are studies out there that they're using hemp for kids right now to combat their illness. A lot of people on pills and stuff like that. So I see a lot of the elderly as well taking CBD. And I tell you, please don't take my word for it. Just do your own research and figure out. And consult your physician, your doctor, whoever. I'm not telling people to take CBD. I'm not telling people to take hemp. Please don't say that. I'm just saying do your own due diligence. Go to your doctors, because I've seen studies, and I have a cousin that took the CBD, and then they got off of the pills and all that kind of stuff. So make sure. I don't want to say Charles said to do nothing. I don't want them problems. Make sure you consult the people you need to consult before you put anything into your body. That's all I'm saying. So autism is out there. We have kids on the spectrum. And so these scientists were talking about how they were giving hemp to kids on the spectrum that were autistic, and it was helping them out. So you can go research that. Please research it. Don't be giving your kids stuff if you didn't do any type of research. But there are scientists out there that's doing what they do in their world of studying and chemists and all that kind of stuff, and figuring out what goes into our body and if it can help or if it can't help. So I just want to give y'all that out there, because it's just more information. The other part of money I know about is housing and urban development money that's out there. People can go to. If you have a nonprofit, there's because I work with veterans, so there's money out there for veterans. There's a lot of different money for veterans, but one is called a HUD-VASH, like HUD, Housing and Urban Development, and it's a VASH, and it's a voucher that veterans can get. So there's a lot of different sources out there. It's called in Opportunity Zone. What we're getting is a tax increment funding, or it's called TIF, and hopefully I got that word right. There's a thing called an EB-5. I'm just giving y'all stuff that I know. There's a thing called an EB-5 out there, and that's funding for immigrants and things, so they can. You got different immigrants coming over to get funding. You can get funding for your project when you hire immigrants and things of that nature. Hopefully they have their paperwork in order. I'm not telling you to hire immigrants, so I just got to put my words out there, because people like to take my words and say, well, Charles said this or said that. So right now there's like 12+ million accredited investors out there, and that's just people who have money sitting around really, and they were looking for a place to invest it, and you just have to put your stuff together to where you give them a good plan to where they can invest in what you have. The other thing is, if you look at opportunity zones, I follow people with money, right? So look this one up. Look up Bill Gates. And now he bought probably over 30,000 acres. All of it is in an opportunity zone. Why would he do that? There's trillions of dollars not being used, y'all. There's a lot of money out there, so we have to put ourselves in the right position to get a piece of the pie. And I don't want just a piece. I'm going to take the whole pie. I'm going to bake my own pie. And then I'm going to start piecing my pie out to other people, because from here, I'm going to tell y'all before it happens, I'm doing an Opportunity Zone Fund in Virginia, and then I'm going to do one in Georgia, because I got some people that want one out there. And I don't know if I have to do one in every different state that I'm going to. See what I need to do as I'm going down this journey, working with the experts on really how we can help out the community. I hope I help somebody else with all this content. It's so much content. So what I do, family, I study. That's what I do. I have to study. I don't know about y'all, but we have to study so we can get the right information. And that thing I brought up was TIF, tax increment finance. And it's just like an additional tax that's assessed on the property, and we using it like to pay for parking, to defray the cost of building the parking over time. Really, it's like a debt service for those in the world of real estate. So it's so much that I have on the plate, and I know people be like, Charles, you're so busy. I'm like, I'm busy right now because I'm in the last stages of funding. I'm in the last stages of funding. And I won't complain about being busy. This is what I asked for. And so he's giving me everything I asked for and more, things that I had no clue about is coming. And he just keeps enlarging my territory because he knows without a doubt what I'm going to do with it. He knows I'm going to go help out the masses. This is not just for me. It's not just for my family. This is not just for my friends. This is for the masses. And I can't stop until I get it done. And then when I get it done, I'm going to keep going and keep enlightening and educating other people so they can have an understanding of what they can do or what they have access to. Because we have access to it. It's just written. We got to go read and get around the right people. And so that's what I do day in and day out. I'm negotiating my assets off, like every day. And right when I get off of this one, I have another one I have to do. I'm working with all these different investors and developers and other companies that want to partner, and I'm putting all this together like I'm baking this cake, and it's going to be one heck of a cake. I'll tell you that when I finish. All right? So that's what I want to do. I want to thank Ms. Kimmy again for giving me the platform. Been some years now, still going strong. And I got to say to Martin Luther King Jr., fraternity brother from Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and I will tell y'all, Martin Luther King Jr., Thurgood Marshall, Jesse Owens, when I did my research when I was in college because I wanted to join the fraternity because I just kept seeing these same guys show up. When I was doing community service, I was at the library reading the kids. I was going to elementary school working with the kids and volunteering. I kept seeing these same brothers show up. And I'm like, who are these guys? And they told me they're part of this fraternity. Well, what's a fraternity? So I started doing my due diligence, and I said, well, if Martin Luther King if he did it, then, why can't I do it? It has to be okay. Martin Luther King, Thurgood Marshall, Jesse Owens, I think I'm in good company. So I just talked to these brothers and got to know them and understand what they do, community service. That's what it's about for me. It's about community service and helping people. So I tell people, even being in a fraternity, I was already doing the community service because it's ingrained in me as a person. So I don't have to, fake it or take a picture and show them that I'm feeding the homeless. I mean, I do that to this day. I go out and I see homeless, and I'm like, hey, let me give you some water. And they're the most humble people ever. Food, water. And one lady was like, I can't take the food. I'm like, what? And I said, no, it's okay. Because that's what we should be supposed to be doing. There should be no one homeless. There should be no one homeless. If we have food, why can't we help out? That's all. And I look at it, it's a blessing. That's where our blessings come from. I'm not looking for the blessing, but I'm going to tell you like I know, God continues to provide for his children. I'm going to tell y'all like Noah, I am so amazed by the things that happen in my life. And I used to be like, I didn't know how it was happening. Like, why am I getting blessed over and over and over? It's like I'm gonna make up a word that I made up a long time ago. I'm overblessed. I'm overblessed. I'm so thankful though, but I'm humble enough to receive it. But I continue to do continue to doing what I'm doing. That's all we have to do. Help somebody else out. It don't have to be money. I mean, you can help people out. You can even smile. You can talk to people to help somebody else out. Just put a smile on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pray us out, but I do want to thank y'all for coming on to Charles's Corner because I'm hungry, y'all, and I can't stop. So, dear God, we give you thanks for this time, for everybody to come together. Everybody to come together, please give us the strength and the mental fortitude that we need to move forward and know that everything will be okay because everything happens on your time. Continue to bless us and our families during these trying times. Please keep us safe, keep us healthy. We may not always see a clear picture, but we know you didn't bring us this far to only bring us this far. In your name I pray, amen, amen, and amen. And y'all take it easy until next time. Charles McCutchen, I'm your favorite entrepreneur.